today we have quite an interesting brand review because we're talking about Patrick Ta. And as per usual, we are going to cover the brand's history, the person behind the brand, the products. I will do reviews on the stuff that I have, and in the last part of the video we are also going to cover all the drama that has been going on. And to be honest, it's quite a lot for that short period of time that this brand hasn't been on the market. So for the first part of the video, let's now go into this eye look and in general the makeup application. Okay, so let's start right into this look that we're doing, because I do have only one palette from this brand. The other one I actually cluttered. I had the Major Dimensions 1 that like broke the internet, and the Major Dimensions 2 is the one that is still with me because I think the quality in the one was just garbage. So I'm starting this look with the shade Crush, which is the lightest one in the palette, and I just use this as a lightly colored base for the whole eye and up onto the brow area. So Patrick Ta as a person, he was born February 12th, 1991. That means he's the same age as me. We're both 32, and I don't want to be rude, but he looks 10 years older than me. It's weird sometimes. It's weird. I'm now going into Amour, which is the second matte, like second lightest matte shade. So he was born in San Diego as child of Vietnamese immigrants. He says himself that this, and in general like his whole family and parents, they told him to work hard and to especially not take things as granted, and to express the hard work, and to just be there for yourself, and you are basically the only one there for yourself. So at least that's what I understood from different interviews that I read with him. Before he discovered his passion for makeup, he actually was about to be a culinary chef. Didn't know that before that. And he also had a nail and tanning salon. So I'm now going into Passion, and I apply this as the darkest like crease shade. But this tanning and nail salon, which was based in the Arizona area, that basically went bankrupt, and so he had to look out for another job, and he got a job at MAC. And without any experience in the makeup world, he basically started to do makeup on clients, on customers, on brides, on basically any type of events that people booked him for. So you can maybe see already that he probably has a very good talent in makeup. So that's why he got so successful in such a short time. I mean, clearly he has this talent in makeup. Otherwise, we would not talk about him. You're like, what the fuck am I talking? I'm also going into Heartache, which is the darkest matte. And I apply this on the outer V area and blend that into the crease a bit. At the time when Instagram started to be very, very popular and people shared their shit on that platform, on that new photo platform that everybody lost their mind of, he started doing that too, and did a makeup page for him and for his work. And his like girly friends, they all allowed him to basically practice his looks on them, and then they allowed him also to share that. Because at that time growing on Instagram was pretty easy, like let's be honest, a couple years back this was super easy to grow there. He got more clients, and he also got the opportunity to actually move to LA. In LA, he didn't know anybody from that scene, so he basically used Instagram to connect through to influencers, to other people, to build a base where he was able to work with. I'm now using Affair, this dark metallic shade, and I tap this on the most outer corner. And I think the biggest turning point in his whole career was the fact that actress and model Shay Mitchell started to follow him. She DM'd him, they got into contact, and she was the one who basically brought him into the celebrity world. Whenever I use this palette, I cannot skip this Desire shade. This is probably my favorite shade in this whole palette. I apply this in the center of the lid. Oh, my shade. Hard panned like nobody's business. So in the center, and I blend this into the dark outer corner. And thanks to Shay Mitchell, he was able to build basically a client base that has Bella Hadid, a couple Kardashians, somebody with the last name Jenner. Like, I don't understand the Kardashian Jenner family because I'm just not interested in that. But you know the names, so we have to talk about them. Katy Perry, Rihanna, you know, all those big A-list celebrities. Some of them are probably B-list. Not looking at Kardashians here. I'm now going into Lust, which is actually a duochrome. It shifts from gold to pink to gold to pink. Shades have such a bad hard pan, I can barely pick them up with a brush. Like, what the fuck? But I try to apply this on whatever is bare still on my lid. It's so flaky. Oh my god, this is bad. I want to declutter some palettes today, and I'm actually considering declutter this. To declutter. I'm actually considering to declutter this. That's the correct sentence. Patrick Ta himself said in an interview, and that is also a statement that you can find on his website when you go in the About section, like about the brand, about the founder, that he says, wait a second, how was it? Even though his like client roster is full of high fashion and celebrity clients, he says that everybody deserves to feel confident and beautiful, and that's why he founded Patrick Ta Beauty in April 2019. It has only been 4 years. So before we finish the eyes, you know, I do my cream shade first. And one of the products that I actually really enjoy from the brand is the bronzer contour duo. This is the cream contour and powder bronzer duo. Okay, it's a cream contour and powder bronzer. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I do have the shade She's Statuesque, which is the lightest one of those. And I really enjoy this format of stuff. I have to admit that. Like, despite all the drama around the brand and despite how much fun I make of the brand, the fact that you get a cream and a matching powder is genius, and the cream has an extra cover is fucking genius. I love this, and I actually really enjoy this duo. I just don't use it enough, I have to say that. But you know, I will do a bronzer or contour declutter very soon, so this might get more use. I do also have the matching brush to this. Do I have it here? No, I think I put it somewhere else because I'm not a fan of the brushes. I'm honest. I do only have this contour brush that he has, but I don't like the way it just applies cream stuff. I just do not. But what I recently loved with my cream contour stuff, I used these fluffy flat brushes. I think they diffuse just the product so well. It's awesome. And the shade, I was very hesitant to buy this duo because a lot of reviews were like, oh, this is way too warm. This does not work and it looks like poo on my on the faces. But the contour is the best tone of like gray undertone that I have, to be honest. Maybe the Vive one. Yeah, the new Vive modern cream contour thing. I don't know what's the full name, but that one has also really good contour undertone. But the Patrick Ta one, there's just something different about it. And in that same format, he also has blushes. I do have 2 single blushes. Not single, but it makes sense in a second. This one is the shade Oh She's Different, and this one is the shade She's Blushing. I used to have a third one, but maybe I decluttered that a couple of years ago. And I also have something that I probably paid way too much money because I just discovered the brand after this got discontinued. This is the first limited edition blush palette that he brought out for the holidays in 2021. People went nuts. This sold out, I feel like, in minutes. And that is one of the reasons why I can't let go of this. Look at this. You get 3 shades of this like duos. Wait a second. She's a doll, she's vibrant, and she's baked. I just cannot let go, and I have barely used this. I have this now maybe, no, 2 years. No, 2 years is not possible, but I know I bought this in January or February of 2022. So do the math on your own. I cannot part with this. This was in a declutter pile a couple times, but I always just put it back in. So what kind of blush does match us today? I haven't used the She's Baked one in a while, so we will do this. Just enjoy the texture of these. I don't know what it is, but the creams in these cream blushes are really good. The powders are really good. The only thing that I personally don't like is the lighter shades are, in my opinion, way too pigmented. I love this She's a Doll blush, but I can barely wear this because you just end up over applying it, since you basically just look at it and it's pigmented. Like, just from looking at it, you have this on your cheeks. But in general, I really like these, and if there wasn't so much drama surrounding the brand that is just hitting me in the wrong spot, we will talk about that later, I would have bought the new shades on these, the blush duos. They brought out like 2 or 3 new shades. No, I just don't want to support this behavior. But again, we will talk about that later. They also had a second palette of this for the holidays 2022. I decluttered that actually because it was just not worth it for me. I kind of liked it, but the creams had glitter in them. And even though I don't mind usually having glitter in my blush, it looked weird. It looked very patchy. It didn't go on well. The whole experience and texture of the second version was very, very bad. I think the most criticism was towards the highlighter duo that was in there. And I'm still waiting for the highlighter duo to come out as a single, because all of these shades were announced as limited only for this palette. But later on, he released all these in single duos. So I was hoping that when I decluttered the second blush palette last year, that the highlighter duo would come out as a single, because I myself, I love that. That was the best part of this palette. The cream highlight, which was one of those like gelées, it was more a Vaseline type, but it was not Vaseline. There was a bit of glitter going on, but I don't know what it is, but I love these kind of balm highlighters a lot. Like the Tom Ford shade and Illuminate, love that. Pat McGrath in her, the duos, what are they called? Skin Fetish Highlighter Balm Duos. I have 3 shades of these because I love the colored side, but I also love this colorless balmy side. And Patrick Ta basically had in the palette the same thing, a colorless highlighter balm and then a colored but powder highlighter. I love that combo, and I'm very, very sad that this has not come out yet as a single, but I probably won't buy this. By the way, for those blush duos, he suggests using this in another way, but I myself, I just can't. I cannot break with my routines, but he basically suggests to put the cream on top of the powder. And all the videos I've seen from people who are trying this, it looks stunning, but I just can't. To me, it's cream and then powder, and probably too weird in my head, too twisted in my mind to change that. By the way, when we're sitting here together, I will today use the Huda Beauty Easy Bake and Snatch pressed powder the second time. You will see this a week later, but the first time that I used this, I documented that on Instagram. It was a mess. My under eyes looked like 50 years older, but I also used that applicator that comes with it. So today I'm only using it with a brush. Hopefully this will look better. This is, by the way, Cherry Blossom Cake, because I just love pink powder. The only props that I have to give to this powder is it sets your concealer. Like I wore on that day when I used it the first time, actually my makeup for 17 hours, because I put it on at like 6:30 a.m. in the morning, and then I was working, and after work I directly went out to like a bar. We played some billiard and we were bowling. It was a hot mess and we played air hockey and stuff. And I just was back around, I don't know, 11 p.m. or something like that. So it was around about 17 hours. And everything, like my foundation was off, the blush was off, was patchy, was all shit. But the concealer, it was like set in stone. But it looked so bad. And I just want to love this powder. I just want to, because I love the Rose version. So let's now finish the eyes. I'm tapping back into Heartache with a very small smudger brush. And I just smudge this along the lower lash line. So the goal for Patrick Ta was to create basically products that combined and showcase the his artistry and innovation that he was aiming for. He wanted to involve techniques that he has been testing on clients. For example, like this powder on top, like cream on top of powder and not powder on top of cream as like everybody's doing. He just wanted to put this in products and make it accessible for everybody. I'm now using Devotion. We haven't used that on the upper lid, but it's very good to blend out this dark part here. And I don't know if you remember this. When I read this, I kind of was like, yeah, I saw this somewhere, but I wasn't minding that release because it was like, okay, basic bitch. And I was even not aware of the fact that this was like the first launch, because the first collection that the Patrick Ta brand came out with contained the 3 highlighting mists that are still in the shop, body oils and lip shines. All of them are still there, and he was aiming basically like all about translucent glow for all skin types. Because if you have ever seen a makeup look that is done by Patrick Ta, it's glowing. It is like really glowing goddess looks. So for inner corner highlight, I'm tapping into Adore. Do you know this texture is so indie brand like? Let's just apply this on the inner corner, a bit on the lower lash line. And as always, I just cannot stop dragging this into the crease. I just love the look. By the way, there is also a foundation and powder dew that comes basically in the same format as the blushes and this contour dew, where you have a cream foundation on top and a setting powder on the bottom. I never tried this because I saw so many bad reviews. People were like, this is way too thick, way too cakey, and that was like a no for me. So Patrick Ta does also have brow products in his collection, and the only brow product that I own from him, and my sponge just fell down, is the Lamination Gel. I bought this very recently, like half a year ago, and I'm currently using it, and we will use this today, of course, but let me tell you, I don't like it. I don't know why people are raving about this freaking brow lamination gel, but this does literally nothing. You could also call this brow spit gel, because that is the same effect that I get. I'm using this up on days where I have more of a softer look going on and I don't want to have a very defined brow, but I actually don't like it. If you're looking for a good brow lamination brow lamination gel, the Too Faced of Fluff and Hold wax, I think is the name. That's awesome. I also don't understand the applicator in this. Do you understand what exactly this is supposed to do? Is there a way of correctly using it? I don't know. I just basically go through my brows with this, but to me, this is not a lamination gel. This is not a lamination look, and I think it's just an overpriced brow spitting product. So the second collection that Patrick Ta launched was called the Monochromatic Moments. And this basically contained 4 blushes, 4 lip liners, and 4 of the lip cremes. I never tried the cremes, but I did try the glosses. I don't know what it was. I bought one of the glosses, tried it, and then I fell in love and I bought 2 more. And the more I used these glosses, the more I started to hate them, because they felt super thick. They are supposed to be plumping glosses. I never had any plumping effect, like not even a tingling feeling, which is nice, to be honest, because I'm not a fan of this feeling. The only plumping gloss that I actually like is a Fenty Heat. Let me now just grab the powder blush. And you see that? I just tapped 3 times into the blush, which, by the way, I usually tap 3 times in a blush. But this is so pigmented. But the shade is beautiful. Like, this is a monochromatic moment, isn't it? It's beautiful. And we love a blushy look. I'm still not over blushed cheeks. I will probably never be. Okay, so this is now the finished look with all the Patrick Ta products that I own. Eyeshadow, contour, blush, and the brow lamination gel. Brow spit gel, whatever. Besides those products, there are also 2 other eyeshadow palettes, the Major Dimensions 3s, like the newest one that has only mattes. He has also different brushes. There are brow pencils, lip liners, glow balms and mist, lip masks, oils. There are also single blushes that are like only the powder stuff. They also have a mascara that I personally never tried, and I cannot remember for the sake of my life if anybody has done a review on that I know. And there are also like glosses, lip creams, and as I said, the limited blush palettes. I'm pretty sure for this year there will be a limited palette too, but I don't know. Last year was such a bummer. Let me just talk really quick about, I think, the most important thing in this look, and that is the eyeshadow palette. I really enjoy this. And I'm holding my fingers on these 2 motherfuckers down there, but I love that. I think it's a beautiful quality. I have to admit that the shimmers kind of, I don't want to say they hard pan, but it's like they're binding oil or binding liquid that is in there to make them cohesive and not fall apart, because you cannot take a loose powder and just press it and hope that it will stay together. You need a binding component to them. I feel like this kind of, I don't know, as if there's too much in it, and now it's kind of borderline cream eyeshadow, but the cream is dried up. That is how this feels at the moment. Talking about creams, he has in his palettes also 2 cream shadows. I have to admit that these 2 creams are much better than the creams in the Major Dimensions 1, but I hate these 2. I don't like this formula. The only cream shade formula that is worse than this in Patrick Ta was the Huda one that came with the Empowered palette last year, because they just don't dry down. These at least kind of dry down. They're still smudgy as fuck, so where is my use for these? Because I cannot use them as a liner. They don't dry down. I have to use them as liner and set them with an eyeshadow. Then I can only take that eyeshadow too. Like, I take the eyeshadow, build it up, and I'm good to go. I don't need that cream shit. So, I don't know. And to be honest, I'm now thinking about decluttering this palette, but you will see in a declutter video if I decided to declutter this. And as always with my brand review videos, we also have to cover the drama, the controversies, all that shit. To be honest, for a brand that is only here for 4 years at this point, this is a lot of drama. I was not aware of that. The only drama that I really recognized is the mold. We're talking about the mold in a second, but did you know that in 2022 there was a thing during, and I have to read that off because I cannot remember exactly the name, the AAPI month. If you don't know what that is, I had to Google that too. This is the Asian American and Pacific Islander month. This is basically a month dedicated to those persons with this heritage. I think heritage is the right word. Basically, the brand Patrick Ta was contacting creators out of that heritage, asking them to send content for free, for fucking free. And one of those creators spoke out on TikTok. Like, there's a long TikTok video where she is providing proofs and DMs and messages and all that. And she was like, yeah, I would love to participate in that, in your campaign, because they wanted to do a campaign where they only had those specific type of creators where they can talk about their family, where they're from, and basically do content with the brand's products while they were talking about that. At least that is what I read from the whole drama threads on Reddit around that. And she was like, okay, I would love to participate, but payment, like give me money for that, because I will not give you my work for free. It's my job. No, thank you. And they literally answered, yeah, we don't have budget for that. But you will be involved with the brand and we will tag you and we will like shout out your name once. It's like, that's bold. That type of audacity I would love to have too sometimes. What the fuck is going on? And I think that's a bit shocking, to be honest, because this is like ripping off creators. This is begging them for free work because you want to shove your millions down your own throat. Sorry, that is the vibe that I get. And in 2023, this year, who can forget the mold? It all started basically in the beginning of this year, where people started to share the condition they got their major dimensions to. Like, we're talking about this palette. The shimmer shades had fuzzy mold on top. So many disgusting pictures of this top layer, the classic white fuzzy mold, some green fuzzy mold. Oh, it's just disgusting. As I said, the binding component in those metallic shadows turned rancid, and then it starts molding. I had to dig a bit deep, but then I also found somebody on TikTok who was sharing the blush palette, the second one from last year. She ordered it off the website, she got it, and mold in the cream shades, and on the powders was a wax layer. She had to scrape off that wax layer to get to the powder product. Again, doesn't matter if your powder is matte or metallic, you need a binding component so the pigments do not fall apart. You cannot press them in and tell them, yeah, you now stay together. They will say like, fuck you, we are going to fall out. When your brand is about 4 years old, and 2 of those years are covered with drama, I'm sorry, 50% of your like main time on the market are in drama. Maybe think about something. Maybe you should rethink some of your actions. And do you know what bothers me about the mold drama the most? Not the fact that it happened. Because let's be honest, we're not perfect. You're not, I'm not, the brand is not, the manufacturer are not. Mistakes can always happen. A very good example on how to handle a mistake in a good way is Patrick Starr. I don't know if you saw this, but he has a mattifying setting spray, I guess. I think it's a mattifying spray, and people on TikTok were pointing out that their spray is white. So they showed how they shake the bottle, then they spray the face, and it comes out completely white. 2 things could have happened now. The brand could have decided to just ignore it and say, yeah, you have to shake it, it's your fault. Or the brand could have said like, okay, return please the faulty products. Do you know what really happened? Patrick Starr, I didn't mention the brand, by the way, is One Size Beauty. I'm sorry, I just assumed you know who Patrick Starr is and what his brand is called. No, it's a One Size brand. But Patrick Starr himself used his personal Instagram account, stitched one of those videos, and he did an apology. He said, I don't know what the heck is going on with those sprays, but I saw all of your videos, or like at least a lot of them. I mean, you cannot see all of them. Who knows how many there are in the orbit. And he says he needs to go in deeper because he cannot explain what exactly happened, what is wrong with certain batches of the production, but he will do everything to resolve this problem. And he said you can, of course, return the spray, get your money back, or just exchange it for a new one. That is how you handle a mistake. Because Patrick Starr is not the one who is like hand pouring the liquid in a spray bottle and screw the top. The same way Patrick Ta is not the one who's hand pressing these shades in a palette. And you know, the brand never ever acknowledged this issue. Why can't you just say, we made a mistake in production, something went wrong, you can exchange your palette, you get a free one, or you get like a refund. But they decided to ignore it. And that is one of the reasons why whenever they come out with new stuff, It's for me, it's not Patrick tar. I call them Moldtrick tar or Patrick mold. Mold on eyeshadow. We now have mold on other stuff. It is like this sad running gag that is going on. And to me, this is shady customer business, because your brand cannot exist without the customers. The customers can live without you. That is just the way it works. So nobody would be mad if you just say, sorry, we made a mistake with that. We resolved that issue. You can now exchange your palette for free or get a refund, whatever you like. And then we're good. Nobody would ever think about that again if you just handle the situation like a grown-up brand that you should be after 4 years. So that is basically it all for the Patrick tar review. Tell me down below, do you have stuff from the brand? Do you like stuff from the brand? Do you still support the brand after the mold thing? Doesn't that even bother you at all? Let's just discuss down in the comments, but of course be nice, no insulting here, and we're not judging people. So if you still buy from Patrick tar, fine. I love that for you, that you found a brand that you truly enjoy, and I'm happy for you if that is just the case with Patrick tar for you. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the info box to support, to follow, to do shit, and if you subscribe, you will never miss funny videos like this one. And I will see you in the next one.